Hey guys, this is James.
And this is Denny, and that is James. Even if he doesn't sound like it.
This is James. We are here on episode 238. We have some tea that has sat around for a while. I've been meaning to bring it on the show for quite a while, but we have a long queue. It was sent to us by Darius over in Georgia, so thank you very much, Darius. This is actually some tea that has been U.S. stored for quite some time.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how long specifically, but I would guess 5 or 6 years at least. It's from a Taiwanese boutique brand. We are spraying leaves everywhere. This tea is the 2007 Xizihao Puzhen. So we are going to get going. Looks like some really gorgeous leaves.
Yeah, and loosely packed too.
Yeah.
So, not iron pressed.
Yeah, so easy to get those whole intact leaves.
Right. And yeah, glorious. And in terms of proportions, James, just for the folks out there,
we are using a little bit over 5 grams for 75 milliliters, so we are using heavy parameters.
Right, let me go ahead and give that a smell. Smells sweet.
Smells sweet, smells strong.
Indeed. And we're just going to give it one rinse. I think that should be more than sufficient. Let me get in here too. Yes, sir. Ooh, wow.
You can taste that there's a significant amount of greenness still in there.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of like hay, grass, strong, kind of typical raw Pu'erh aromatics off of it.
And the yellowness of the liqueur is a testament to that greenness too.
Yeah. But it is 10 years old, so
it'll be interesting to see. Definitely has some kick on the aroma, to say the least. We'll see how it shows up in the cup. Let's give her a shot.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Wow. That's really sweet. I mean, it's not like crazy saccharine, but given how strong the aroma was, I'm surprised at how sweet this is, actually.
We'd expect it to maybe get a little bit stronger during the next few infusions.
Yeah, most definitely. It's light still.
Yeah, I agree with that. It taste notes probably pretty similar to that aroma.
Yeah. Doesn't have a super strong petroleum vibe, but it definitely has that sort of strong, younger, raw.
I get a lot of hay, stuff like that from this infusion. Just getting some of that from the aroma as well.
The liqueur is continuing to be sort of this kind of like peachy, kind of like not quite orange, not quite yellow. And we're doing, for you folks out there who are just watching for the first time, we're brewing Gongfu style and just doing quick brews, a lot of leaf, hot boiling water, short brew time, and with a tea like this, doing it any differently would be pretty intense, I would think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or you wouldn't capture the actual flavors of the tea.
I mean, you could try to grandpa brew this, but you would really have to hit your parameters pretty much right on, or you would end up with something too weak or too nasty. So with this sort of brewing method, we can react to the tea more quickly.
Yeah, it has a really wonderful aroma.
See a lot of like tea oils on top of that too.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
So
let's keep drinking.
Very pretty.
Yum yum.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Texturally, I think it's still pretty light. It's not super viscous yet. Definitely more of that hay vibe going on now. A little bit of sort of a kind of an...
It's a little bit stronger, but not too much yet. Not a ton of bitterness, but maybe a little bit right now.
I'm struggling to find the right taste for this. That's kind of striking me the most. It's not quite it's not acorny, but it has some hints of a little bit of nuttiness.
I agree. Yeah. It's some florals too, I think.
Yeah. Not particularly fruity.
Yeah. Maybe even some leather, but not the same sort of leather as our Baljong from last episode.
Exactly. This has much more of a smoky aroma, but I'm not really experiencing that in terms of the flavors in the cup that much. It's kind of crazy to do this, but I'm going to let this hang out for like a little bit, just to get there. There's a little bit of astringency going on in my mouth, or I guess maybe some puckering.
Yeah. I mean, the water has cooled down a little bit,
right.
So brewing it for a little bit longer probably works fine.
Leaves are really beautiful.
Yeah, and they've really come apart too, so we're getting...
this is full strength at this point, I'd say.
Really pretty.
Yeah, some good variety too of the colors in there, meaning that some are a little bit greener versus oranger. Yeah, wonderful aroma. Oh, this is pleasant. So this is a 10-year-old tea.
Yes.
But frankly, I'm not tasting the 10 years as much as I would have thought.
Yeah, I think some of that has to do with when so many of our reference points for storage are places that are very humid, like Taiwan or Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It's like even, so Darius is located in Georgia, where it's pretty humid for the U.S.
Right.
But even compared to a place like Hong Kong or something, maybe it's a little bit down as far as like... just the overall conditions. So,
and for folks out there who might not know how humidity is going to influence aging of a Pu'erh tea, James, do you want to just do a little blurb on that real quick?
Right. I mean, like, just in general, higher humidity, more water in the air. So humidity and temperature are usually the most typical parameters to work on. That's the simplification. There's obviously more things going on than just that. But places where Pu'erh has been stored for a long time, such as Hong Kong, and to a lesser extent Taiwan and Malaysia, those places are all very hot and humid compared to most places in the West and the U.S. Even a place like Florida or Miami or something like that, it could be a touchdown from those places as far as humidity. So it's something to keep in mind that you would expect that a lot of U.S. storage, keeping in mind that the U.S. is a very big place, would be on the drier end of the spectrum in comparison to teas that have been stored in East Asia.
And in terms of actually accelerating the speed of, in essence, aging, the humidity is going in the temperature are going to perhaps in this case speed up a little bit the aging process or not. So in this case, it seems like this tea, had it been stored in Hong Kong, might taste a little bit older and be a little bit more sort of biologically aged, if you will, compared to some place like Georgia or perhaps Washington, California.
And visually, the liqueur would be darker, the leaves would be darker, all that stuff.
Right.
And that's not to say there's a lot of preference and stuff that goes into this. So, like, this tea, I don't think has... I think it's been stored well, actually. It's dry for sure, but I think it's been pretty good storage overall.
Yeah, let's keep drinking. Cheers. More into that age, more into the rawness of this tea. I think this next steeping is going to be intense.
Yeah, this is a thicker brew, soft, thick, oily. Not overly aggressive. I actually quite enjoyed that steep. It cooled down a little bit too, so it was a little bit different.
Yep.
And that does look a little darker, doesn't it?
It does, indeed. Now, in terms of the infamous mother's test, James.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I think
don't do it.
Moms everywhere are going to protest this tea as much as they protested Donald Trump. Just kidding.
Seattle moms.
Yeah, sorry for getting political.
That came out of nowhere.
I know. We love all moms everywhere, regardless of any of your political beliefs. Moms should be drinking more tea because it's good for your guts.
Yeah, maybe not this tea, though.
Actually, I read this. So, as a total tangent, the reason that black tea is helpful for weight loss beyond just having caffeine is that it actually promotes a healthy gut biome, which is really integral to processing your food and just being healthy overall. So interestingly enough. But
in other TeaDB videos on health benefits, you guys should go back in the logs and watch Denny's video where he is very sick. What was it called? Like the 5 saddest things that you could do. It's still on the internet. You should go check it out and see what Denny has to say about health benefits back in the day. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Really nice. Really complex, actually.
Surprisingly not nearly as strong as I expected. Definitely getting into that rawness, though. This tea hasn't aged enough to sort of surpass that kind of intensity of the raw pu'erh, and get into sort of softer notes and mellow out some of those flavors. There's still a lot going on with this. It's not quite as sweet.
It's pretty dynamic, too. I'd say this tea has changed quite a bit, steep to steep.
I think we're on our fifth steeping at this point.
And it is showing no signs of letting up at this point.
Right.
So, quite a contrast to our aged Baljong from the last episode.
Yeah, indeed. This is good. I'd say, in terms of friendliness for folks who maybe have had some experience with raw pu'erh, what would you kind of categorize this in terms of... Let's say that you're... how would you advise a new raw pu'erh drinker to think about this tea? I know it's kind of a vague question, but...
I don't know. This tea is interesting. It's complex, and it may not be the most friendly tea to a new drinker, but pay attention to the texture, to just how the tea is changing. Probably a good tea to take notes for. Infusion to infusion or something like that. Smell the leaves. Take your time. We probably don't take our time quite enough when we're filming the show, but that's kind of out of necessity.
Yep.
This
is one of those more challenging, interesting teas. It's not straightforward, so it's not going to fit smack dab into one category or identify itself really obviously, and that's one of its benefits.
Really nice lingering sweetness all around too, in the throat, in the mouth. I am enjoying the Huigan.
Yeah, I'm getting super good energy out of this, to say. Feeling nice and alert. And this tea has been smooth, and texture-wise has been, I'd say, pretty consistent. Getting a little bit more oily and viscous as we brew.
Right. And this, if you were to compare this versus like a big factory tea, this is much more approachable. If you were getting this color brew out of like a 7542 from 2007, it would be strong, and it would probably not be very pleasant at all.
Yeah.
I actually quite enjoy this. This is, in comparison, softer. A little bit of fruitiness coming off that aroma now, too.
Yeah.
So, changing the notes, ever-changing.
This is steep number 6. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. More florals. It's throughout the whole steeps. It's had just like a tinge of bitterness. It's never become too overpowering.
Right.
There hasn't been like a overly unpleasant brew as a result of the bitterness at all.
It has that sort of young green pu'erh bitterness, and contrary to like an Iwu, this has that sort of that's kind of like earthy bite to it that a lot of folks find off-putting, but if you are a poo nerd, then you probably are right at home with this kind of a brew. So
this does not taste like an Iwu tea to you?
No, not really. I think it lacks the kind of characteristic sweetness that pervades through. It has much more longevity. It's not as soft. Mm-hmm. This tea definitely is dynamic, like you said, and we're experiencing the range of tastes and intensities, but it's not, with that lack of softness. Also, it's going to last a little bit longer. This tea will probably age a little bit better too, and continue to improve. Really nice. I'm enjoying it. Feeling very alert.
Feeling that energy.
So, cheers.
Cheers, guys.
I think we're seeing it settle down and slow down a little bit. These are where the steepings we're gonna elongate these steepings, reheat the water, and eventually throw this in something to steep overnight. Really pleasant overall. Wouldn't pass the mom test. Definitely sort of a tea nerd tea.
Yeah.
In a good way though.
So if you got a tea drinking community around you, this would be a fantastic tea to share.
If folks wanted to pick this up,
yeah, obviously you cannot pick it up from the same storage as Darius,
right.
Unless he's selling his tea, which I don't think he is. So you can look for this tea places in Taiwan. Xizihao, we reviewed a number of their teas. It's a Taiwanese boutique brand, so you can get some of their teas in Taiwan. So if you have a friend out there or something like that, you could try to track this tea down. Not really sure what the cost would be, but
sorry, good
yeah.
luck. And maybe as just a final note, James, would there be a tea that someone could find that you could think of just quickly that would resemble this in its effect? That's a really hard question to answer.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Look for semi-aged tea. Emmett is selling a number of Xizihao teas. I'm not sure if he has a source on this. The fact of the matter is the storage is going to be different.
Right.
If we were to have a Taiwan stored version of this, it'd probably brew darker. It'd probably be a little bit smoother, but it would lose out on all of those more top notes, complexities that we have that we enjoyed for this tea. So maybe that would be a good place to start. I do not know specifically. This tea, I think it is actually pretty unique in a lot of its characteristics.
Yeah. So looking for something that's been dry stored.
Yeah.
10 years old-ish, and good luck.
Yeah.
Well, and James, if folks want to learn more about tea in general, what should they do?
Yeah, they should hit that subscribe button down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Check us out on TeaDB.org, releasing lots of videos, lots of articles, etc., etc. And thank you, Darius, for sending us this in. I think we both enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah. So we will see you guys next time.